Lenovo had its earnings. Company that's another one of the sort of bellwethers for infrastructure for PC and client, and they showed really good numbers, Pat. Lenovo's had some ups and downs. Its devices business has done pretty well consistently, been sort of a core stabilizer of that company. But the company under the leadership has really been trying to pivot to the infrastructure side, winning more of the middle of the market, not just the hyperscalers where they've had a lot of success on compute. They're trying to add a lot of services. They're trying to really be a bit of a hybrid player in terms of hybrid AI, and all the way up and down. And Pat, the numbers show 20% revenue growth this year to 18.8 billion. They doubled their net income, which the market should really like. And on top of that, their infrastructure group, now again, this is the GPU boom, 59% growth year over year. So clearly Lenovo has found a path into the GPU space. They've got some really great liquid cooling technology that lets warm water cooling. I think that's probably playing very well in their favor. But saw growth across the board, Pat. 12% in devices. I think it was 12% in services. It was 59% in infrastructure. And their non-PC revenue mix has gotten close to half the business now, which has been a big diversification play for the company. So good quarter for Lenovo. We talked to one of their presidents, Ken Wong, you and I last night, late. My overall perception is the company is doing well. I always worry a little bit about the dependence right now with the NVIDIA boom, but it's also very wise, whether it's Dell, HPE, or Lenovo, you've got to run with these things when they come. So, Pat?
I just want to say this again, 20% year-on-year revenue increase. I mean, that is absolutely stunning to me. And while the infrastructure group got a little bit of a slow start in AI, these are the results that they have finally clicked in. Lenovo, particularly with the hyperscalers, had some designs that that their competitors were earlier with, but then now they are full blown in there, and they do have a very important technology called Neptune. Liquid cooling that is distinctive out there. Dan, you and I are going to have the chance to chat with Ashley next week, I believe, who is the new leader of their infrastructure group. And listen, with a 59% increase in revenue, your profitability should turn around, if nothing else, across some of your fixed expenses. Profit margins are light, and to me that is evident of concentration with hyperscalers, where you're really running an ODM model, and they call it the ODM plus model out there, but a lot of cash coming through the door, which is good. SSG, I think it's almost a carbon copy. Been really impressed with what they've been able to do on the software and solutions side. Daniel, our firms track the Accentures of the world, the Deloittes of the world, folks like that, and a very similar level of sophistication coming out of them. Now they're in IBM Consulting. They're a much smaller entity than any of the above, but it is interesting how you would expect them to know more about the technology than these other, the base technologies, the infrastructure, the PC. But I think SSG is one of the most interesting parts of the overall Lenovo story, because it really is talking to the CIO as opposed to just the purchasing agent here. I am looking forward to see if SSG can help the infrastructure group gain share inside of the enterprise market. When I look at at Lenovo, the data center group, they're really strong with the hyperscalers, and they're really strong with small and medium business. They do very well with HPC, with labs and things like that. So I'm interested to see if SSG can give Lenovo Enterprise overall lift in its ISG group. One final point: if you missed it, there was a $2 billion investment that Lenovo made in a partnership in the Middle East with a company called Alat. You may have seen announcements from a who's who in tech of Saudi and Qatar. Qualcomm did some big announcements over there as well. But this is another example of Lenovo's multinational strength.